Alrighty, so I just finished this example right here. If it'll let me write on the screen. No? Maybe? Yes? Oh, okay, good. I just finished this top example right here, and now I'm going to work through these separate ones. So we're going to look at other situations that involve algebraic relationships, but more specifically multiplicative relationships. Let's look at number 6. It says the movie theater sells a bucket of popcorn represented by the variable P for $5.95 each. And apparently there's a typo. Which of the following equations best represents C, the total cost of purchasing buckets of popcorn? Okay, there's 2 important things I want to note here. Anytime you're doing a test question, first things first, look at what topic you're dealing with. We're dealing with multiplicative relationships. So our relationships between our 2 variables, which in this case is popcorn, which they used P for, and then cost, which is C, should be a multiplicative relationship. We can automatically get rid of this one and this one because they are showing the 2 variables related by addition. Now, if we didn't know that we were dealing with multiplicative relationships, the way we could figure it out is that right here, it talks, not right there, sorry. Right here, it talks about how each bucket of popcorn sells for $5.95. So we're talking about equal sized groups. That's multiplication. So there's 2 ways right there we could eliminate 2 answers. So now we're just looking at this one and this one. The easiest way to figure out which answer is correct here is to literally replace the variables with words and see which one makes sense. So this one says cost equals $5.95 times the popcorn. And this one says the popcorn equals $5.95 times the cost. A is obviously the correct answer here because it doesn't make sense to say, oh, I multiply $5.95 times the cost and I get the popcorn. That sentence doesn't make sense. So for this one, it's really easy to tell once you write out in words which one is the correct answer choice. Okay, let's do this one. It says the number of cupcakes sold at Whoops Bakery is displayed in the graph below. So here we can see on our y-axis we have total cost, so that's our dependent variable. On our x-axis we have number of cupcakes, which is our independent variable. Once again, this is our dependent variable because the cost depends on the cupcakes. So that makes our cost our dependent variable. Our first job here, where it says number 4, is to complete the table. All we need to do is look at these ordered pairs that are on our graph and pull our x and y values from them. So once again, we said that number of cupcakes was on our x-axis, so that's our x variable, our independent variable. And then our dependent variable, represented by values on our y-axis, was total cost. So we're going to label things first. Look, labeling's not necessary, but it is necessary in the sense that it helps your brain focus on what you're doing. Okay, it can feel like extra work, but I promise you it's not. Because what you're really doing is saving yourself time having to remember what's what. Okay, so now we've labeled what our x and y represents. Now we're just going to pull those ordered pair values from our graph. So for this ordered pair, our x value is 2, our y value is 7. For this ordered pair, we have 4 and 14. About this ordered pair, we have 8 and 28. For this one, we have 16 and 56. Let's go back to this one. We have 6 and 21. Remember, I'm just pulling those from the x and y values that go with the points, right? Tables coming from graphs should be the first thing that you do. The next question is asking us to write an equation, and if you've already written down the table, the equation should go pretty easily. So once again, to get our equation, we need to look at the relationship from x to y. What am I doing to x to get to y? Right? So we could look at this ordered pair and say, oh, I'm adding 15. But that doesn't work for like that one. So we need to find a rule that works for all of them. Now we already know we're dealing with multiplicative relationships, so we're going to use multiplication. So what number am I multiplying x by to get y? It could also be what number am I dividing x by to get y? Now, I know it. You may not know it. But if you didn't know it, all you need to do is figure out how many groups of x are in y. So we're just going to divide, and we will get 3 and a half. Okay? And we can check that. 2 times 3 is 6, plus half of 2, which is 1, is 7. 3 times 4 is 12, plus half of 4, 2, is 14, and so on. So here's what's happening. We are taking our cupcakes, multiplying by 3.5, and that's giving us our total cost. So each cupcake costs $3.50. Now all we need to do is replace the word descriptions with actual variables as one letter, and we'll be good to go. So cupcakes are representing our x. We always put a coefficient first, so we're going to do our 3.5 as a coefficient equals y, and we're done. Okay, you guys, let me know if this helped. If it didn't help, it's really hard to tell if things are helping when I can't see y'all. So just let me know. I love y'all.